The American Bus Association presents Motorcoach Travel News. Here's Dan Ronan.
Hello and welcome to a special edition of the American Bus Association's Motorcoach Travel News. I'm Dan Ronan, coming to you today from Marketplace 2012 in Grapevine, Texas. You know, Marketplace is about a lot of things, but it's about making connections. And behind me on the business floor, the delegates and others are conducting business, potentially millions of dollars worth of business. But also Marketplace is about transportation safety. And the chairman of the National Transportation Safety Board, Deborah Hersman, was here. She had a chance to look at the manufacturer's newest safety equipment. And later, I had a chance to talk with her. You've had a chance this morning on the floor to see several 2012 models. What are your impressions?
I have to say I'm so impressed with all the new technology that's in these motor coaches. Things that are standard on all of the motor coaches that are being sold, like three-point belts, or even the additional technology in some of them, like the electronic stability programs or adaptive cruise control, tire pressure monitoring, and making sure that fires can be detected. All of these things are great improvements, and they are going to result in lives being saved and injuries being prevented.
Explain for me a little bit about what the NTSB's position is regarding distracted driving, particularly when it comes to a commercial vehicle.
Well, we know that distractions have been around as long as Ford has had a Model T, and so distractions are something that drivers, particularly bus drivers, have to deal with every day. But the distractions that we're most concerned about are ones that are growing, and handheld devices being brought in to the bus with drivers or even in cars are really increasing. They're on the rise, they have more functionality, and we want to make sure that people are putting down those devices and really focusing on the task at hand. No call, no text, no update is worth a human life. You've got to focus on the task at hand and drive the vehicle.
What are your impressions about the curbside business, and where, quite frankly, can the industry move to get some of these illegal operators that we know are out there and get them out of the picture and get them so that they're not operating on the curbside?
We know that there are good operators and that there are bad operators. The important thing is for the enforcement officials and the consumers to understand who the good operators are and to get the bad operators off the road.
Are you confident that those goals that you set back in August are at least moving in the right direction?
You know, we set some goals, and it's really to improve motor coach safety, and I have to say that one of the things that's disappointing is that the federal government has not established good standards for the manufacturers and for operators to actually purchase motor coaches with these new safety technologies. But improving motor coach safety is about a lot more than regulations. It's about what operators are doing, about what manufacturers are doing, even in the absence of regulation. And I think we're seeing a lot of progress when it comes to safety, and it's because of the industry taking a leadership role, and that's a good thing.
Chairman Hersman also joined the inaugural group of women participating in the ABA's Women in Buses program. Motor coach operators, owners, and drivers joined Chairman Hersman to talk with her about their experiences in the bus, tourism, and travel industry. The ABA wants to showcase the great work that women in the motor coach industry are doing, and Hersman says she hopes that more women decide to make transportation their career. One of the busiest people at Marketplace was ABA President and CEO Peter Pantuso, greeting ABA members and listening to their thoughts about Marketplace, attending meetings, and making dozens of walks around the Marketplace convention floor to see how everyone is doing.
Every Marketplace we've seen has grown, it's improved, it's created a better business environment for the attendees. Every city is unique as well, so while people love Philadelphia in 2011, now in 2012, you know, they're getting to see the Southwest and the West and Grapevine and the uniqueness that this area has to offer. So that's part of what makes Marketplace great, is it moves around, it moves to great destinations, and people get to enjoy the destination as well as the business that's done.
There's millions of dollars worth of business being transpired here, and many of the delegates are saying that they came in with a set number of appointments and they're actually doing much, much more than that.
People are able to network more on the floor. Even after they do their appointments, they're able to go back the next day, for example, and say, hey, you know, just want to follow up with you, or they're able to meet with somebody that they couldn't get an appointment with. So those two pieces have been a big, big success.
Now, Grapevine, of course, is a destination, is a pretty cool place to be at.
Great place. I mean, the town of Grapevine is so unique. You think of it not as a Dallas or a Fort Worth, but just this unique little diamond in the middle of those two giants. And those two cities are great destinations, and they've been great hosts here as well. But the town of Grapevine itself is just a fun, wonderful Western cowboy town.
So what changes were made to improve this marketplace as compared to other years?
So the first thing we always do is make sure we have enough buyers here, and that we've got more buyers here than we've had in any other show. There are well over 750 bus owners and or bus employees and tour operator owners and employees who are here this week. That's a record number for us. If you've got good appointments, then you've got a good show, but we make the show better by giving other things and making the show more exciting by the open appointments day, for example, by adding the new venues or new constituents that we brought here, like the entertainer coaches or women in buses, by bringing in the government for some of the programs that we've had, like the Bus Industry Safety Council, and also doing the FMCSA Hours of Service. Debbie Hersman was here from NTSB. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces to this show. There are a lot of trade shows. I mean, you can go to a trade show anywhere in Florida or California, or wherever you want to go, and walk up at the end of the aisles and kick tires. But that may be where you spend money. This is where you make money as an operator. This is where you learn. This is where you get educational sessions. This is where you network from one another. And you can still see buses and tires and all the other things you want to see as an operator.
We're at Marketplace 2012, MTN, Motorcoach Travel News. It continues right after these messages.
Group Connect is a tool for tour planners to be able to get quotes from multiple suppliers as they plan their tours throughout the United States and Canada. So the time-saving element of this is terrific, and we're very, very pleased with how it's going.
At Marketplace, Motorcoach operators and drivers got a chance to express to members of the FMCSA their opinion about issues concerning hours of service. This was also broadcast nationwide on the FMCSA's website. More listening sessions are being scheduled. Afterwards, I spoke to one of the top officials of that agency, Jack Van Steenberg.
There's charter groups, there's tour groups, there's regular route groups, there's school bus groups. So they have to deal with many different complexities. So we wanted to hear discussion on driving time. We wanted to hear discussion on off-duty time. We wanted to hear discussion on fatigue and research. We wanted to hear on maximum hours.
Do you have a timetable of what you'd like to do within the agency? I know some people say, well, government moves slow.
We are doing research on fatigue and hours of service as it pertains to passenger carriers. We want to see what that research tells us. And based on what the research tells us, what the industry has to say, our findings on the listening sessions, we will start putting together some type of notice of proposed rulemaking.
This is Motorcoach Travel News.
One of the goals of the ABA Foundation is to raise scholarship money for students of families who are in the tourism, motor coach, and travel industry. Doug Anderson is a motor coach operator in Pennsylvania. He's deeply involved in the foundation's work, and I talked with him about that. When you go to an auction such as the one with ABA with the foundation, where does the money go to?
Well, it's one of our primary fundraisers to support our scholarship programs, of which we give 20 scholarships annually to industry ABA members. Anything from tour suppliers, hoteliers, bus operators, children, anybody that would be a worthy candidate for a scholarship and need an extra push. In addition to that, we also heavily support research for the tour and travel and motor coach industry.
There's a 2-for-1 challenge that's out there that will be very, very beneficial to the foundation when a certain financial threshold is met from ABA members and others.
That if we can raise $2 million within the industry, that we will get matched with a $1 million supplemental grant. This anonymous donor has just really challenged us, and we're just about 3/4 of the way to making this challenge, and we're trying to close it in. We'd like to finish it up in 2012 and be able to really announce just a home run. The proceeds for this $2 million will go towards research to promote the industry. We're really promoting people to invest long-term in their own company by investing in the foundation so that we can further promote the industry. And it's not just limited to the motor coach side of it. It's for the tour and travel people too.
The auction and other efforts at Marketplace to raise money for the ABA Foundation were successful, adding more than $140,000. We're at Marketplace 2012, MTN, Motorcoach Travel News. It continues right after these messages.
Crazy Dave here. While I may be crazy most of the time, here at Mobile View we are serious about safety. While driver cell phone usage and texting is a rising problem, it is not here at DC Trails. With our real-time driver surveillance, drivers' habits can be remotely monitored to assure safe driving.
Here at DC Trails, Mobile View ensures that safe driving is recorded and rewarded.
Be safe, be secure, be in view. Mobile View.
Marketplace is about business and networking, but there was a lot of Texas hospitality too. The ABA members and exhibitors got to see many of the sights of North Texas, including the $1.3 billion new home of the Dallas Cowboys, which last year hosted the Super Bowl. The team's owner and general manager, Jerry Jones, spent several hours meeting the ABA members and taking pictures and signing hundreds of autographs. You could get your picture taken on the iconic blue Dallas Cowboys star at the 50-yard line or try to kick a field goal from 25 yards out. It wasn't exactly the type of pressure a kicker would feel with the game on the line, but still it was quite a challenge. Many said those goalposts looked very small. Much of the money at the Marketplace Overtime event went to Grace, Grapevine Relief and Community Exchange. At Marketplace, ABA members raised more than $33,000 to help Grace, money that will be spent for families in transition after being victims of domestic violence. Also at Marketplace, another night to network in downtown Dallas at the Hard Rock Cafe and the famous House of Blues. Music, fun, and a lot of networking going on. And in the morning, after a night out, a chance for members to meet and talk with several operators at the breakfast. All part of the Marketplace experience, all part of ABA. All of the motor coach manufacturers have displays here at Marketplace. I talked to the CEO of MCI, Rick Heller, about the company's resurgence. What are some of the keys that you believe are necessary in order to turn a company like MCI around and move it forward?
They want an incredibly safe coach that performs reliably time after time after time. And after they buy it, we need to support it like crazy in the marketplace so that when something happens, and it is a complex piece of equipment, we're there all over it to fix the problem.
There is a renewed emphasis on safety, and there has been a lot of discussion about things that need to be on buses. This bus and some of the others on the floor have safety equipment on it that exceeds not just the U.S. standards, but also the European standard.
It is overbuilt in terms of what's required. And then there's just a whole host of technological safety features, too many to mention.
Seatbelts,
obviously,
suppression.
Yes, all of that. Stability control, anti-lock brakes. You know, there are dozens of different features, and we are looking at dozens of new features to put on it as well.
It's been a great marketplace, getting a chance to meet many of the ABA members and also tell the interesting stories about what's taking place in the motor coach and travel industry. Marketplace 2012 coming to you from Grapevine, Texas. Thanks to the great people in the CVB for making this all happen. Now mark down on your calendars. In January 2013, Marketplace will be in Charlotte, North Carolina. MTN is a production of the American Bus Association and GRI Productions at Terrapin Blue. I'm Dan Ronan at Marketplace 2012. Thanks for joining us. MTN is always online at buses.org.